Hey, what's going on, sports cards fans? Ray from Philly here. It is Sunday, January 22nd. We're 2 days away from MLB announcing who could get elected into this year's 2023 Class Baseball Hall of Fame. They've already had the Veterans Committee vote last month in December, and Fred McGriff was elected. So now the BBWAA election is taking place and being announced this Tuesday. The induction will be in the summer. This Tuesday is the election day to see who will get elected. And before we get, and this is basically my favorite time of the year, is December and January during the off season, when you have the Veterans Committee ballot in December and the BBWAA in January. It's just something that I just live for. I love the Hall of Fame. But before we get any further here, I'm gonna share my screen here and go right to Mr. Ryan Thibault for his ballot that he shows the Excel spreadsheet, the tracker, Hall of Fame tracker. And as you can see, all the names on here in alphabetical order from Bobby Abreu all the way down to Billy Wagner. And so far, only two players are above the 75% threshold. Those two players you see highlighted in green. One is Todd Helton at 79.0%, and the other, Scott Rolen, at 79.5. And then it tells you what year they're in. Abreu is in his fourth year. Helton's in his fifth year, for example. Scott Rollins in his sixth year. Really, really great. Very informative. It's awesome. They updated a lot. The percentage of ballots now that it's been voted in is 44.4%. And I think, let's see, the estimated total ballots cast is 396. They need 75%. 167 votes have been casted. So in the next day or two, a lot more votes I think should still come in. What I don't like is I have some players, some voters that don't even, vote, which is ridiculous. So now what I'm going to do here is go through if I was voting, all right, I'm going to pick my ballot. I'm picking all 10 players. If I was one of the people voting for this would be my ballot. At the end of my 10 picks, I'm going to make my predictions as to who and how many will get in. So let's get started first, and I'm going to do this in alphabetical order. And going with my first pick, if I was voting on the ballot, if I was one of the voters, this would be my ballot. And first player I would pick is Bobby Abreu. And I show the rookie card here as well, that this would be the card that would go into the PSA Post-War Rookie Hall of Fame set registry. And that is for Bobby Abreu. It's the 1995 Bowman's Best. I have this rookie card in the 10. His stats, great. Two-time All-Star, Gold Glove Award winner, 2,470 career hits, 288 career home runs, a 291 batting average, 400 stolen bases, and a 60.2 WAR. All around, pretty much a five-tool player. I've seen Bobby Abreu play lots of times with the Phillies. He had a great arm, could run the bases very well, could hit for average, could hit for power. And I'll go over who I think will get in at the end of this, at the end of my picks. But this is my first pick if I was voting. My second pick, Carlos Beltran. That's his rookie card. Actually, that's mine that I own. That's the 1990, I think it's 4, Topps traded. I have that in the Gem in 10. The numbers for Beltran are absolutely great. Great. 1999 Rookie of the Year, a 9-time All-Star. 9. That is a lot of All-Stars. 3-time Gold Glove Award winner, 2,725 career hits. That's a lot. 435 career home runs, 1,587 RBIs. That's a lot. A 70.1 WAR and a 57.2 JAWS, which has him ranked ninth all time in center field. And everybody ranked ahead of him in center field is in the Hall of Fame, with the exception of a couple players. Actually, I'm going to show that now just for the heck of it. It's on Baseball Reference. This should be fun. to show you how many players that are ranked ahead of Carlos Beltran that are in the Hall of Fame. Pretty much everybody is ranked that's ranked ahead of Beltran is in the Hall of Fame. So you come down here to the bottom of his baseball reference page, right down here where it says Jaws 57.2. He's ranked 9th. I should be sharing my screen here to show you this. That would be a good idea. So I'm on baseball reference, and here he is ranked 9th. So Mays, Cobb, Speaker, Mantle, Griffey Jr., DiMaggio, and Snyder are all ranked ahead of him, are all in the Hall of Fame, with the exception of one player, Mike Trout, and he's still playing. And look at all the players ranked below Beltran in center field that are in the Hall of Fame. And Richie Ashburn, Dawson, Billy Hamilton, Earl Abreu, Kirby Puckett, Max Carey, Oscar Charleston, you name it. So there's only one player ranked ahead of Beltran that's not in the Hall of Fame, and he's still playing, and that's Mike Trout. So Beltran should get in. If I had to vote, I would absolutely vote for Carlos Beltran. That trash can scandal thing, that was 1 year of his career. I'm not going to knock a player for having, 1 year on his career, and the other 16 years were just incredible. So let me get back to Mr. Beltran's awards here categories that I have him in. Just one more second. I just wanted, there he is. So that's my third pick. He went away again. I have to add him real quick. That's my third pick is Carlos Beltran. Let's move on now to my fourth pick, Todd Helton. And that's his rookie card. That's actually the one I own. I can't see this, kind of blurry. I think it's a 95. Topps traded. I have that in the gem in 10. Helton, 5-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glove Award winner, 2,519 hits. That's a lot. 369 career home runs, a 316 career batting average. He won 2,000 batting title. He has a 54.2 Jaws, which ranks him 15th at first base. I'm not going to go through the same thing I just went through with Beltran, but there's not too many players ranked ahead of him that's not in the Hall of Fame, and he's ranked 15th at first base. My vote goes for Helton. My fifth vote is Andrew Jones, and that's his rookie card there in the 1995 Bowman's Best and a gem in 10. I'm hoping to get that card this year. Jones's stats are a 5-time All-Star, 10-time Gold Glove Award winner, 1,933 hits. I think that's the one thing I think that is kind of hurting him, is that he doesn't at least have 2,000 career hits, but 434 career home runs, a 62.7 WAR, and a Jaws of 54.6, which ranks him 11th in the history of the game at center field. 11th. Just incredible. My sixth player this is the current Fred McGriff, and that's Jeff Kent. That's his 1992 Fleer update. Gem Mint 10. Jeff Kent's numbers as a 5-time All-Star, 2,461 career hits. Awesome. 290 average. Pretty damn good. 377 career home runs, which has him ranked first all time at second base. First all time at second base. 1,518 RBIs. That's a lot of RBIs, and did win the MVP award in 2000. I'm going to talk later on at the end of this ballot about my thoughts on these players and if I think they're going to get in, so forth and so on. At number 7, K-Rod, Francisco Rodriguez, 6-time All-Star, a 2.86 ERA, 437 career saves, ranks him 4th. The 3 guys ahead of him are all in. That would be Rivera, Trevor Hoffman, and Lee Smith. And the guy who's ranked 4th is this guy right here, Francisco Rodriguez. That's his 2000 Bowman Chrome. Very tough card to find. There's very, very low pop. I just don't think people paid enough attention to Francisco Rodriguez. That's why he has such a low pop. But he's doing pretty well on the ballot this year. I'm going to move on now to my eighth pick, Scott Rolen, and that's his 1995 Bowman's Best rookie. I do have two of his rookies in Gem and PSA eights. That card has gone through the roof in the past 3 years. It's now like a $400 or $500 card in the Gem in 10. Scott Rolen's numbers: 1997 Rookie of the Year, National League Rookie of the Year, 7-time All-Star, an 8-time Gold Glove Award winner, which is way up there. There's only maybe Schmidt, Arenado, and Brooks Robinson who have more. 2,077 career hits, 316 career home runs, a 70.1 WAR, and a 56.9 JAWS, which has him ranked 10th at third base all time. Let me see if I can get back to sharing the screen here to going to. I want to go back to Baseball Reference to show um, Scott Rolen and his rank at third base all time. So when we get to Jaws, and Jaws, I really am start like not only WAR but Jaws as well. I think it's a really, really good key reference in comparison to players at their position all time. So as you can see, he has a 56.9 career Jaws, which ranks him 10th. So let's take a look at those top 10 third basemen and see how many are in the Hall of Fame. Every single third baseman ranked ahead of Scott Rolen is in the Hall of Fame, with the exception of one, Adrian Beltre, who's not eligible yet for the Hall of Fame. But the other 8 players are all in the Hall of Fame: Schmidt, Matthews, Boggs, Brett, Chipper Jones, Brooks Robinson, Ron Santo, Paul Molitor, and now you have at number 10, Scott Rolen. Edgar Martinez is 11th, is in. Home Run Baker is 13th, is in. Jimmy Collins is 24th, is in. Third base is really not presented well, to be quite honest with you. But I really feel that Scott Rolen deserves to be in the Hall of Fame without a doubt. Let's get going here and put my slides back up on the screen here. So that's my 8th pick. My 9th pick, Jimmy Rollins. As you're starting to see a little trend here, this is my 3rd Philly, but has nothing to do with them being a Philly. Jimmy Rollins is a 3-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glove Award winner, 2,455 hits. That's a lot, especially for shortstop. He's also the all-time hits leaders for the Philadelphia Phillies. He passed Mike Schmidt. 231 home runs for a shortstop. That's a lot. 470 career stolen bases. The 2007 MVP, 1,421 runs scored. That's his rookie card, 1997 Bowman Chrome. I have that card in the Gem in 10. I kept telling everybody to buy this rookie card. I bought this about 5 years ago for $10, and now it's probably about $100. So it's still very, very affordable. I would pick up the Rollins rookie definitely, but that's my 9th pick. And my 10th and final pick, oh, not my final, my 9th pick, I'm sorry, is Gary Sheffield, and that's his 1989 Upper Deck Gem Mint 10. Look at this, the numbers here are just totally off the hook. 9-time All-Star, that's a lot. 5-time Silver Slugger Award winner, that's a lot. 2,689 hits, that's a lot. A 292 career batting average, very, very good. He's in the 500 home run club with 509 career homers. He won the 1992 batting title. Didn't even know that he led the league in hitting one year. 1,676 RBIs. That is a lot. That's way up there in the top rankings of RBIs, with 253 career stolen bases. Highly decorated. I'm not connecting him with steroids. He's never failed the test. He's never been suspended, never even been accused of. In my opinion, if you have a Piazza and a Jeff Bagwell and a Pudge Rodriguez who have been accused of, I'm not sure about Piazza, but the Bagwell had the stigma name next to him, never failed the test. Same with Pudge Rodriguez, and those guys are in. I don't know why it's taken Sheffield this long. It's a disgrace, but in my opinion, Sheffield is a Hall of Famer. My final pick is Billy Wagner, and that's his 1994 Bowman's Best rookie. I have that card in a Gem in 10. I picked that up a few years ago. Unfortunately, PSA didn't pick this card to be in the post-war rookie. They picked the 94 Bowman. This is the Bowman's Best, and which is actually worth more than the Bowman, but nonetheless, they picked the 94 Bowman. He is a 7-time All-Star, 1,196 strikeouts, which for a closer is a lot. Won the Rollins Relief Man of the Year, 422 career saves, a 24.9 Jaws ranks him 6th all-time amongst closers. And as far as relief pitchers and saves, I think he is first. If he's not first, he's second in saves for left-handers all time. I think John Franco might be the one that's in first place all time amongst left-handers. So that is my ballot right there. Those are my 10 picks. Going backwards again, I picked Billy Wagner. I picked Gary Sheffield. I'm picking Jimmy Rollins, Scott Rolen, Francisco Rodriguez, Jeff Kent, Andrew Jones, Todd Helton, Carlos Beltran, Bobby Abreu. And that is my ballot. Now I'm going to go back to the tracker and go through some players who I didn't vote for that people are probably like, well, how come you didn't vote for this guy and that guy? I'm going to go over that. There's 3 guys that I really wanted to vote for, and that was Manny Ramirez, Alex Rodriguez, and Omar Vizquel. I couldn't, in my right sense, pick Manny Ramirez because he was suspended more than one time, failed more than one test. Now, if they want to accuse somebody like a Bonds or Clemens for doing steroids, that's one thing. But to me, if you didn't fail a test, even though a lot of people feel that these guys did it, if you didn't fail a test and weren't suspended, I think you should get in. But Manny Ramirez was suspended, did fail a couple of tests, I think 3. A-Rod did have a 1-year suspension. I do think eventually A-Rod will get in, just not right now. It might come to the end of his 10-year term and maybe in the Veterans Committee. Omar Vizquel, I had him on my ballot every year when he first got on for the first 4 years up until last year in his 5th year when he had off the field charges against him that just blew my mind. So I took those 3 guys off the ballot. It's a shame, but nonetheless, that's what I ended up doing. So that's my ballot. Let me know what you think. It's a shame. I mean, about A-Rod and Manny Ramirez, one of the greatest right-handed hitters of all time, but just too many suspensions is really holding me back on him. The Carlos Beltran, I mean, everybody wants to really destroy this guy's entire career for 1 year with the Astros, with the trash can scandal. There was nothing else said about him before that for the 15, 16 years in a row before that. And his numbers are first ballot Hall of Famer. Now, my predictions. Let's go back to the tracker. Actually, I don't even have to go back to the tracker. I showed you on the tracker that 2 guys right now. Let's go back to the tracker. I said Todd Helton was at 79.0%. Scott Rollins at 79. Let's see right now how well the other guys are doing that I picked. Jeff Kent. Do I think he's going to get in this year? No. Last year, though, he was at 32.7%. It's not enough to get to 75. And wherever you see this votes right now, the percentage, it does drop a few percentage points, 5%, maybe even 10% on the day of it. But do I think Jeff Kent will get in this year? No. Last year, he was at 40.6. He's at 63.6. He's in his 9th year. Do I think he gets in this year? No, I do not. But I do think he has a really, really good chance. If he's at 63.6 right now, I do think that he'll finish around 60 and he has a shot next year. If he doesn't get in next year, he will be exactly like Fred McGriff. And in his first year on the Veterans Committee ballot, he'll be unanimous and get in. So I still would invest in Sheffield rookies because I really believe he will be in the Hall of Fame. I just don't think he'll get in this year. Jimmy Rollins, last year was at 9.4%. This year he's at 13.1, an improvement. Not enough, I feel, that for him to get to 75%. Francisco Rodriguez, this is his first year on the ballot. Respectable numbers so far at 9.1. I don't think he'll get in this year. Let's keep on moving. Andrew Jones, his last year was at 41.1%. This year's at 68.2. I think that'll drop a little bit on Tuesday to around 64. I don't think he'll get in this year. I think next year is going to be his year. I don't think he'll be a Veterans Committee Hall of Famer. I do think he will get in on the ballot on the BBWAA on his 7th year, not this year. And we're skipping over Todd Helton and Bobby Abreu last year, 8.6%. This year, a nice improvement at 19.3%. He's in his 4th year. Do I think he gets to 75% this year? No, I do not. I think he'll finish somewhere in the teens, around 15%. He's making headway. I think he's going to be a guy that will stay on all 10 years of the ballot and will get in on maybe not his first year in the Veterans Committee, but eventually he will on his 2nd or 3rd trial in the Veterans Committee. Carlos Beltran, this is his first year on the ballot. He's showing very well, actually, with the trash can scandal at 55.7%. I think that'll drop a little bit and he'll finish at around 52. I don't think he'll get in this year at 75%, but I do think he will be getting in on the BBWAA on his 2nd, voted in by the Veterans Committee. I think this guy should get voted in on the BBW year. Is at 79.0%. I think he will drop a smidge below 75. Therefore, I do not think Todd Helton is going to get in this year. I do think he has a very, very good chance of next year get it in. He will finish above 70% this year, and history has shown that when a player finishes above 70, the next year will definitely get in. And I don't think I'm missing anybody else here except for Scott Rolen. Scott Rolen right now is at 79.5%. He is very, very close. I took all day to think about if I think he's going to hang in above 75%. I'm going to say no, and people in Philly are going to be shocked. He was at 63.2% last year. He's at 79.5. I think he is going to finish a hair below 75, like 73.5. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets in, but I'm if I had to flip a coin right now, or really a gun pointing to the head, I would say by a very, very small margin, he is going to be the closest. I don't think so. That means I don't think anybody's going to get in this year, which is a shame. It's actually sad. But I would, if I had to pick, I would say Scott Rolen will be the one to get in. I think Todd Helton is going to be just a hair below that, which, it is what it is. So I think Scott Rolen has a really, really good chance of getting in this year. The same for Todd Helton, but 79.5% and 79% for Helton with 2 days left. And right now you would say, oh yeah, they're going to get it. But I've seen the history of this, and this vote drops a few points the day of it. And they get screwed. So I'm going to say, and this is killing me, I'm going to say Roland's going to finish just a hair below 75 at around 73.5. If he gets in, great. I'll be thrilled. And Todd Helton, I think, is going to be right along with him. Billy Wagner, I think, is also going to get 70%. And I think he's going to maybe 68 to 70%. But those are the three guys next year. What's going to kind of hurt them next year is Adrian Beltre is going to be in his first year of eligibility next year. Could take some votes away. I don't know. We'll be living for the Hall of Fame. But until guys, see you real soon. And like I always say, have fun with it. Bye bye.